Hey guys, so today's video is going to be about doing leg workouts, and we are doing the leg workouts without using any weights or gym equipment. And I'm going to start off with simpler exercises and then going into more advanced exercises. We're going to start off with the simple exercises for those of you who are just beginning to work out, and then we'll move into more advanced exercises on different various leg workouts that you can do if you've already been working out for quite some time and your muscles are used to these types of movements. So first I'm going to start off with some squats, various different types of squats that you can do. There's more than just one kind. So if you've watched my videos before, our squats are basically just up and down, bending at the knees. You can either hold your hands together for balance or you can place them at your hips. And when you're doing squats, your bottom should come straight down and straight back. Your chest should stay up, and you should also have a straight back as well. When you come down and bend your knees should not be going past your toes. You should be stopping right about there and making sure your bottom goes back and not your body, okay? Your body should not be coming forward. You're not going to benefit from that, and it doesn't work the muscles properly. So when we do our squats, the reason why we want to have our weight in our heels is that because it prevents us from leaning forward and hurting our knees. That doesn't feel very good. So our squats are up and down, bottom back, and when you come up, you should be squeezing your buns inwards because this not only works your thighs, but it also helps to work your glutes. And the area of the thigh that you should be feeling it is this main part right here, the biggest thigh muscle that you have. So that's just a basic squat. Another type of squat that you can do is a plie squat. Plie squat is, kind of like the ballet move where they stand on the poles with their toes facing out and then just plie up and down. So a plie squat is exactly like that, except without the ballet room and without the balance poles. Now you can always grab onto a chair if you need to, if you're just beginning to do squats and your balance is kind of iffy. It'll also help you if you're not used to using those muscles. It'll help you do the squats properly until your muscles get used to doing that type of exercise. And then you eventually will not need a chair. So our plie squats is just like regular squats, except our feet are out wider than shoulder width and our toes are pointed at an angle. And we just come down the same way we do with regular squats. We come down and bring our bottoms back, making sure our knees are not going past our toes. So from the side, have our feet out wider than shoulder width, toes pointed outward at an angle, bringing your bottom down and back. Always keeping a straight back when you do squats. So if you want to try a few of those with me, we can do about 5 of those right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's your basic plie squat. Another squat similar to the plie squat is your sumo squat. Sumo squat is relatively close to a plie squat, and it's kind of in between plie squat and a regular squat. What you do is you bring your legs out wider than shoulder width, but instead of pointing your legs outward, you're going to keep them pointed straight forward, just like you do with a regular squat. And when you come down, it's the same form for every squat that you want to have. Weight in the heels, bottom back and down, and straight back up. So our sumo squat, legs wider than shoulder width, toes pointed forward, and bringing our bottoms back, avoiding bringing the knees past the toes. Up and down and up. Okay, now a little more advanced moves to do for your squats. There's one thing that you can do called a jumping squat. You start off doing a regular squat. From here, you jump up and come back down into a squat. So from the side, this is what it looks like. Bending, making sure your knees don't go past your toes, and then you jump up and come back down into a squat. If you've been doing this for a little while and you like to give those a try, then I would start off, I would start off by doing about 10 or 15 of those, and then eventually you can work your way up to 25 or 30. And then eventually, before you know it, you'll be able to do 50 squats, no problem. Another type of variation of squat that you can do that's a little more advanced is when you do your sumos or your plie squats, you come up on your toes. So you come up on your toes and basically you're squatting up and down. But usually when you're coming up on your toes, you don't want to come all the way up because you could end up losing your balance and falling. So when you come up on your toes, you just basically just want to come up and down. Not all the way up and all the way down. Always all the way down. As far as you can go, that is. So you're up on your toes and you're coming up and down. Another thing you could do when you're doing your squats, instead of coming up fully for a full squat, is you pulse. And what pulsing is basically when you come down for your squat, but you come up just a little bit up and down. And that works all the little muscles in between the big muscles. That will also help you obtain balance. Now, something else we're going to do that you can do standing up. And like I said, if you're just starting out, this would probably be a good exercise for you to grab a chair for. Because what this is a single leg deadlift. And what that looks like is you have one leg on the ground, you reach down with the other, reach down with your hands, sorry, and with your opposite leg, you're bringing it straight back up into the air, hands are coming down, and then you're coming back up and touching. Now this kind of looks like some of the flow exercises that we do at the end of our workouts, if you've ever watched these videos before. But instead of holding it, you're just coming up and down and up. And what you're doing is you're working the leg that is on the ground. And what that's going to do is going to help you develop these muscles behind here under your bottom. And that's what's going to help you lift that bottom up and keep your bottom nice and perky. So again, the single leg deadlift. Arms down in front, one leg out and back, and you're going down and coming back up. When you come back up, you should be squeezing this leg and right in here, right under the button. So it's down and back up, because you want, this leg is basically just providing dead weight, and that's why this is called a deadlift. Okay, and then you would switch sides and do the same on the other side. And making sure you're squeezing on the leg that's on the ground when you come up. And you don't have to come all the way down with your hands. That's another thing. Don't come all the way down with your hands to the ground. Don't think you have to touch the ground, because it's not a stretch. It's a workout for the muscle. So, about the point you want to bring your hands down to is going to be about mid-calf or mid-shin. So about right here is far enough, and then you come up and you make sure you're squeezing that under a bunny. You squeeze that leg when you come up, and that will give you the proper workout for that exercise. Now, excuse me. So lunges, there's more than one type of lunge that we can do. I'm going to start off with our forward lunges, and if you don't have a lot of room, you can just do it in one place. And what you do with your forward lunges is you come up with one leg, bend down, come back, and switch. And you can probably do about 25 of those on each side, even if you're just starting out. Now, if you are a little bit older and you've joined this group with me, you might want to start out with 15. Okay, go. I cannot. I'm busy right now. Excuse me. So, from the side, our forward lunges. Forward, not too far forward, but forward, and you're bringing your knees straight up and down. Adjust your legs as you need to so that both of your knees are forming a 90-degree angle, and your leg that's out in front, your knee, should not be coming past your toes, just like we do with squats. So it's straight up and down, and then you switch legs, straight up and down. That's our forward lunge. The reverse lunge is very similar to that, except instead of putting your legs forward, you put your legs in back of you. Bring your leg back, and then come down and up, back forward, and switch. Now, don't think you have to switch. If you want to work one leg and then the other, you can do that too. So if you want to stay on your right leg and work your right leg, then you can just come up and down for static lunges and just work each side individually. And then you would switch legs and then come up and down with the other leg. Make sure to work each leg equally. Excuse me. No, your brother needs help and I need you to help him now. Brother's coming. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry. I have kids to deal with. Okay, so when you're working your legs, I do want to say, just to recap, do make sure that you do each leg equally. So if you're doing 25 on this side, you need to do 25 on that side. And the reason why that is so stressed is because if you don't even them up, your muscle is not going to develop evenly. And you're going to end up with one leg that's bigger than the other. Okay, so those are our forward and reverse lunges. And then you have your side lunges. Okay, our side lunges, basically when you come out, you step out with one leg and then over, and then you want to switch with this back and forth. Because trying to do this, I mean, I guess you could, but I mean, if you're not too coordinated, you could probably end up losing your balance and falling down. But basically your side lunges are bringing your leg out to the side and stepping out and leaning into it. Okay, and then let me see. Okay, I'm not sure what that is. Okay, oh, I'm sorry. And then you have something called a curtsy lunge. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I'm not leaving anything out. There's so many various types. So your curtsy lunge is basically it's going to be like this. You bring, let's say we're starting off with our right leg. You're going to bring your left leg behind you, cross it behind your right leg, and lunge this way. Now this works the muscles entirely differently. Instead of working here, you're working more the outer thigh. So you do that a few times on one side, and then you switch over and do the other side. So let me show you what that looks like from the side. You have your right leg forward. Well, it doesn't really necessarily have to be forward. You can just keep it straight in front of you. Bring your opposite leg back, cross it over, and you're coming up and down for your curtsy lunge. Okay. And if you want to do something that's pretty advanced, then you can do single leg lunges. And let me grab a chair real quick. And what you do, you will either need your chair or your sofa for these. So what you do for these is you place one foot elevated. So make sure you have a good stance and distance between yourself and the chair, the front leg and the chair. And you're coming up and down. Down and up. And what that does is switches your weight around so that all of your weight is placed on one individual leg. Okay, and then you would just switch feet, not foot. So you would switch feet, get your distance, and then come down and up, and repeat it on both sides. So that is your single leg lunge. Okay. Now I'm going to take it to the floor and show you some leg exercises that you can do on the floor. Ask your brother.
Hey, can you help me?
Okay. So on the floor, you're going to have your bottom leg bent. Your top leg is coming out in front of you, and we're lifting up and down. These are just basic leg raises, but they also help to work the outer thigh. And you would just switch sides and then work the other leg. Now, if you want to make it a little more complicated and you want to work those tiny muscles in between, pulse it. You pulse it just like this, up and down, very tiny, not all the way up and not all the way down. This not only works the outer thigh, but it works your hip as well, slimming that side, the extra, it's not like the area below your love handle right there. So it works your hip and it strengthens muscles around your hips too. Another thing you can do laying on your side is heel taps and toe taps. And the way you do that is you're swinging your leg forward, tapping your toe, and then bringing it back and tapping your heel. And you're doing that back and forth and back and forth. And you keep doing that just like this. Tap, toe, tap, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel. And that's also another good workout, not only for your hip, but for your side glute. Your side glute is what it really is going to help you work. And then you would just switch legs. Now. And then also you could, instead of doing a toe tap, you would just bring your leg forward and then back. That's a little more advanced because you're keeping the weight of your leg off of the floor. And if you haven't done these before, you're going to feel a burn immediately. So if you haven't done these before, like I said, you're going to feel it immediately, but it's also another great workout for that outer glute. Okay, so that's basically it for our legs. If you have any questions or comments, or if you feel like I left anything out, please let me know and I will be happy to demonstrate those for you. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and I will see you all very soon. Thank you.